As the Story Grows, I'm Brian Patton. Today we welcome Frida Ohlin and Jonas Gustavsson from Rexoria to the podcast. Rexoria released Fallen Dimension last Friday with Black Lodge Records. We discuss Frida's interest in fronting a metal band and the influence of Iron Maiden, being a power metal band in Sweden and the scene, the origins of the band's name and royal metal, the approach to writing lyrics, and the ideas behind Fallen Dimension, and more. I'm a big fan of Fallen Dimension, and if you're a fan of power metal or symphonic metal, definitely check this record out. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of As the Story Grows. If you're brand new to the podcast, welcome. You can find links in our show notes or at asthestorygrows.com for our Patreon page, our Discord server, and our mailing list. Enjoy today's conversation with Frida and Jonas from Rexoria. Welcome. I'm glad to have you guys on. It's been a joy to not only listen to the new record, which I think is incredible, but to go into the back catalog and kind of discover the band. So I'm stoked to talk about you guys. Frida, I want to start with you because one of the interesting things when you get into kind of power metal, symphonic metal vocalist is they're not always metal fans, and it's kind of like the right vocalist for the genre. So as a music fan, were you into metal before joining the band? Was this like your desire at some point to front a metal band?
Yeah, it was, but I come from another background than the other guys. I grew up with I went in musical school and sang like my pop and musicals and stuff like that. But I always had like this grit and more rocky kind of voice. And all my friends were like, you should really try to sing rock and everything. I was like, okay, maybe. But then I started to get into it more and more when I discovered some metal and hard rock bands, and it grew on me. And then I got to join the band here, but not Rexoria. Band before we started Rexoria, and it felt really cool. It felt a bit scary, but it felt like, okay, this is where I really match. But I guess I never felt like okay with like the pop style or something. It was like, okay, this is my area. So yeah, it went from more like a rock and roll kind of style to the more power metal-y sound that we're in the Rexoria now, and now over to what we call royal metal, since we don't recognize us as power metal or any of the other genres. So we took a new one. Yeah. Jonas, what kind of gets you into metal and music, and what leads you to play guitar?
It was when I was like 10 years old and so on. It was my friend of mine, his older brother, had some metal and metal music at home, and for me it started with Iron Maiden, and that also like got me to really being interested to play an instrument. And just looking at the photos, then I was thinking guitar, they look the coolest, the guitar players. So then I started to play guitar.
Nice.
And had like Iron Maiden as a huge inspirations for everything. So yeah,
nice. It's maybe sad to admit, but I only just started diving into Iron Maiden and their discography this year.
Have some stuff to go through then.
Yeah, it's like I was just like, all right, a lot of albums here, but better late than never, right? Yeah. Let's talk about Rexoria. How did this band get started?
It was many years ago now. and as Frida mentioned a little bit before, we had kind of another rock band together before, but we didn't really feel that the music we were playing, it was not the music that we really wanted to play. So we were just sitting down and like, okay, what do we want to do with this? So then we started Rexoria and said, okay, we're gonna go for more melody and things like that. Then like started to just write a couple of songs, or not even complete songs, but ideas for this and so on, and just played together. Frida and I and my brother, who is the drummer, and he's also together with Frida. So then we said we three start, and then from that we started to like feeling, okay, this is something we believe in. So then we were thinking, okay, but we need more people than us. So we were checking around and found another guitar player. So
and some other really maybe not so suitable people in the beginning.
No, it was not really maybe the right people, but this was even before we have outed that Rexoria was existing. Yeah. So we didn't have any pressure or so to feel like, okay, we need to get started and so on to get gigs. So it was like just being in the background of nothing, because no one knew that we were playing or was starting up with this. And at one point there, I was just playing bass guitar because it was easier to find guitar players around here in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. Then we had this set up for a little while, and then one guitar player was dropping off and so on. And then we were just four, and I was playing guitar. And then we said we just have the bass on backing tracks while we are writing some more songs and so on, because we might have some keyboards also backing tracks. And from there, it was like that for like 8 years or something like this.
And then we, after 8 years, without even like trying, we found our bass player now, Adam. It was some mutual friends, and we were all hanging out in a bar in his town, and we got to talk a bit, and he was like, oh, we'd really like to join your kind of stuff and everything. And we took it really slow, like getting to know him and everything, and it was really cool. And really, one thing we always said, like, if we're going to take a bassist into the band now after so long time, it should really be a match, and it should really be someone who is so eager to actually do this like we are. And yeah, it's been a great match on everything. So
nice.
Finally, we're complete.
Nice. I know the band name is kind of this like, you know, King Golden, like this royal metal idea, but what was the initial inspiration for Rexoria as a band name?
Jonas.
The band name, we didn't really have. We had some like own guidance. We had like, okay, it needs to be an X in the band, and the letter X, and it should be a name that doesn't exist, since everything is like almost existent. So we should just come up with something. Yeah. And we had a family bowling, and then we were just tried 10,000 different names, and then we finally found Rexoria, and then realizing that Rex means king in Latin. And then not long ago we also realized that Oria means something which I don't remember, but Frida knows it.
Yeah, but it's like golden, shiny golden, and we just combined that, and that like the Golden Kingdom. And since we have had the gold and the black parts, and we're like kind of some metallic stars from the beginning, we felt like this. Why didn't we know this before? Because it's always been like try to be put in some like boxes and genres by interviewers or reviewers. But they have never like, okay, this is like this, that. And we haven't done that either. And when we found out about this with the name and started the royal metal, everything just fell into place. It was like, okay, this is what we have been all along. Now we just have a name for it. And now we can do the aesthetics and the visual parts. And yeah, it has really been cool working with, because the inspiration and creativity just got loose after that.
Yeah. I know Sweden, you know, various parts of Sweden has like a good metal scene, but I know there's like the Swedish death metal stuff. How is Sweden, or how has your experience been kind of more in a traditional power metal scene?
Not so good.
No, I don't think so. Just the power metal, if you go thinking about this, like German power metal, there are a lot of bands from Sweden, power metal bands, which and so on, but it's not that popular. Even the bands like that have played for 30 years, that's been around and that you have known for almost as long, it's not many people coming to the shows.
Yeah.
More than festival.
But it's not. I don't think it. I don't know if it's like people don't like it, or if it is like the venues in Sweden always looking like the most extreme, heavy things. So people don't even get the chance to maybe go out to our style of music and power metal and stuff, because they usually book like black metal or death metal or whatever. And sometimes I can feel like that's a bit strange, because like that's a really sometimes small genre. You maybe not looking for the biggest audience, and then they can come out in reviews and everything afterwards and say like, we have to close now because no one is coming to the shows. Yeah, okay, but maybe you should try something else. And I'm really hoping like there can be a change in that, because I think there are a place for more genres in the venues in Sweden, since we have many bands, very many good bands in a lot of genres. It would be cool to, if it wakes up and become more diverse in the shows there.
You guys kind of come out of the pandemic with the record label. How'd you guys end up on Black Lodge?
I think we had a couple of offers for the third album, Imperial Dawn, from different ones, and then we decided to go for Black Lodge.
Yeah.
And we know that they are a big distributor here in Sweden. So I think it was something in that direction.
Nice.
Yeah, it was more like we had some offers, but some of them were longer contracts than this one. And as Jonas said, Sound Pollution, even if Black Lodge is not the biggest label, they are good contacts within Sound Pollution. And so like everything matched up. And then we had a meeting with them, and they liked the idea and they liked our demo that we sent. So yeah, it went on pretty fast after that. It then felt good to have something new and start again to make Imperial Dawn that came after that.
Yeah. New album's called Fallen Dimension. When you start the writing process for this album, like, are there things you want to tackle from a lyrical perspective? Are you writing like, I want to write a theme that runs through the album, or is it just kind of like taking each song from the music perspective and then going from there?
Usually, or like all of them have been per song. Like, what's the feeling of the song? How should we proceed with this one? Okay, it's heavier riff, then I should match with this kind of stuff. And since a lot of things has happened in the world since we started to write this album, we also got a lot of inspiration in that way to really create some critical songs, some more word-driven songs, and some hopeful songs. That's like the most important within what we do. Like, if you listen to us, even if it's a harsh song or harsh lyrics, it should always feel like you're a part of something, and you feel hopeful and you feel happy when you have listened to our music. So we haven't done a concept album yet. I'm not going to say that it might come someday, but for me, it has been more fun to, write little stories within the big story.
Yeah. I'm sure for so many people, they'd like a little less news things going on in the world to have inspiration to write about. It's like, can everything just be happy and we got to like make up some shit about trolls or something?
Yeah, that would be great also.
Yeah. What led to Fallen Dimension as the title? Just kind of, I don't know, a look at the world?
Yeah, it was that when we like collected all the songs together and saw like the red thread of it all. It felt like, as I said, both kind of scarier lyrics, but also hopeful lyrics, and that's why we wanted an artwork to see the final battle in a way, but also when you go through that, there's the sunrise behind it, there's the dawn coming there, and that's what we came up with then. Fall in Dimension, like this is the end now, but it's also like when you look at the artwork, it's something else coming. So that's and we didn't feel like there were any of the songs that was perfect for a title, so we felt it was better to take another name for it to like sum everything up there.
Yeah. From a musical perspective, are there things that you wanted to try maybe to expand on or do differently this go around?
Yeah, a little bit. We were saying that we want to try to expand and also like challenge ourselves a little bit in the songwriting. And the problem, or not the problem, but maybe the challenging part of this is that when you are coming up with something and really analyzing, is this too far away from Rexoria?
Yeah.
Or and so on. So that we had a lot of not discussions, but conversations about different parts or different songs, and like, this is maybe too much, and so on. And then someone else in the band coming, but we don't want to sound every song sounding the same. So this would fit very good when everything in the mix is there, and so on. And I think we made this very dynamic and quite different from the other albums we have made.
Yeah. Well, it's like fascinating to listen to. Like Metallic Rain to me really felt like an Arch Enemy song without sounding like Arch Enemy at all. And I was like, it's like fascinating to be like, this reminds me of a band without sounding like the band, which is it's cool. Like I
love Arch Enemy. So.
Yeah. I was looking at the band's website. There's currently no tour dates up. Is the plan to try to tour this record and I don't know whether that's play festivals this summer, or is it kind of tough because I know those European festivals book like a year, 2 years out, and so even if you're releasing a new album, you might be too late to play those festivals, right?
Yeah, we have been trying, like, since we didn't have anything new when all these festivals was booking, you always get like a bit behind, so we're like more aiming for next summer. But we have one festival here in Sweden, in Uppsala, called Eden Rock in July, and then we have I would really want to tell you something right now, but we are like in the middle of a process here, so we're really trying to put together a tour here that might be really cool for the band, but we can't say so much about it yet. But we're working really hard on coming out.
It's always the case. It's always the case. I wanted to ask specifically about the song "Running with the Stars" from a lyrical perspective. That one, I don't know, just hit me listening to it. It seemed like maybe that was about losing someone.
And it's really cool because we had another person saying like exactly the same thing the other day. So something with that like really catches. And yes, it is. And it was one of the first songs, Jonas, right? Like
I think it was like number
2 or
3. Yeah,
it was really in the beginning, and it was like easy to write it because it is some way more a Rexoria song, but as we said, like we will always want to develop ourselves and do stuff like that. And when Jonas had recorded all my vocals, I was like, Jonas, I want to do it all over again.
I'm like, what's wrong with this? I mean, it sounds great, don't you think?
I was like, I need some more grit there, and I need some more like edge there, and no, I will have to do all over again. I was like, all right, make another one. But I think I powered through that emotion that I really was aiming for in that one, and it's a really fun song. And I think people always gonna like it on the live shows. I hope it's some energy, but also like emotional lyrics.
Yeah.